I think we may have just missed this flower. It looks like it's opened up overnight and it's closing back up with the day. Sorry, I just woke up, so my voice sounds a little bit croaky. These beautiful cereus blooms are just so short-lived. I will say that about 20 minutes ago, this flower was a bit more open, which is making me think that it's on its way out. It's a bummer that we missed it, but who knows? It may try and open up again with the evening. Just gonna rip it out. This is an Opuntia Burbank. We got it last weekend from this place called the Succulent Corner here in Sydney. They mostly sell stuff. What is with the birds this morning? What's going on? Is there a club meeting here? Also, sorry, my voice is going a little bit and I think it's because of the cold mornings. It's getting much cooler in the mornings here as we go into autumn. Anyway, the Succulent Corner did not ask me to sponsor them. They are a family-run business. They sell things for very reasonable prices. I got this Opuntia Burbank for what I would consider to be really cheap. It's good news for those of us who would love a reasonably priced succulent or euphorbia. Oh, I also got, let me just bring this around to you. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. I also got this euphorbia amic from them. This is actually a cutting. The owner was saying that it was a cutting about 6 weeks ago. So it should start growing some roots fairly soon. I'm gonna leave this under cover, so in shade, and I'm not gonna water it for the next little while. When I was speaking to the owner, he did advise to just pop it in morning sun every now and then, which I have been doing. So we'll see how this goes. On Marketplace, they're going for about, you know, $300 or $400. Something of this size would probably go for about $150, but I got it for like $50 as a cutting like this, which I don't mind. I'm in no hurry to, you know, have a massive one of these, especially for this price. So that was a good deal for me. We're going to start filling out this bed. So this is the third raised bed in this row of raised beds. It's the third and the last one. There's like three of them here. I kind of don't really have a strong vision for this yet. So I imagine that we're going to be just feeling it out and putting things here instinctively and moving things around. It's going to be continually evolving for the next couple of months, as all of these garden beds are. I mean, I've already made a whole heap of changes, which I will show you later. I'm slowly learning about what plants I like seeing together, what plants are doing well, what plants are dying. None have really died, but I think, you know, some plants have certainly done better in these microclimates than others. This was another Facebook Marketplace score. I have always wanted a massively trunky jade plant, and I do like the look of the Golem crassula much more than the regular jade plant, I have to say. This will need some limbing up because what I'm looking for is something that I can really bonsai, something that looks really unusual as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can chop some of this back, and then I'm gonna add it to the garden bed that I just showed you with the Burbank cactus. We've got a lot of overgrown limbs here that I would love to chop off, and I just really want to create that kind of like stumpy bonsai look. Yeah, that's gonna come off as well. There's some like dead things to chop off here. I like this. I like this a lot. This is like my favorite part. I have to be careful to not get too choppy happy. I really want to remove this dead bit. Are you okay? You done? Let's just remove this one because I don't like this. And probably this one, hey. Okay, I think this may be all that I want to do for now. I will try to put this in the garden bed, see which angle I really like it at, and then we'll just take it from there. Oh gosh. Ugh. Okay. actually think I am going to have to smash this open. Tim's not going to be happy about that, let me tell you. He really likes this pot. This is going to take forever. All right, I'm going to have to wait for Tim's help for this. In the meantime, I can show you a number of other things that I've been changing up in the garden beds here. In this bed here, I have added a few more succulents from pots that were around the courtyard. This is an Echeveria painted lady, and I've just popped these in a line in front of the euphorbia alongside these, what do you call them? These Echeveria elegans. I really like how they're hugging up near the euphorbia like that. This is an Echeveria Tomorrowland, and I've got here Echeveria minima crossed with Laulensis. There's a bloom there. This blooms regularly, but it also grows really vigorously. It's a hybrid that is really tough, and it's super colorful, which is why I love having it in my garden. I think that there's a baby popping up underneath, so I may separate these just to give these a little bit more room to grow. Mammillaria, which I've just popped along here. This one here is a Sheridopsis. I actually think I need to move this forward a little bit, and then I can plant the sedum behind it. So this is another sedum dragon, which I have another one all the way over here. So we're doing a little bit of repetition here. Did I show this to you before? So we've just popped this little Gymnocalycium near the front of the bed here. Let me just show you. Can you see here, near that rock, I've popped in some Echeveria elegans just at the base of the boulder there. I don't know, I just kind of wanted something, I mean, it's not super obvious and you can't really see it from all angles of the garden bed, but I just wanted to pop something like slightly in the background to give this space a little bit more texture. If I'm kind of like looking around here, you know, there's still things that are going on in the background. I hope you can see from here, but I've also bought 2 pots of Russian sage and popped them in the back there. I was going to plant them behind that boulder there, but I think I might actually leave them in pots or just transplant them to terracotta pots at some point. Only because, let me just show you, it's actually so much easier to lift these out and get into the garden bed if I need to do weeding or anything like that. It's very pretty. Russian sage. So these also provide a little bit of texture just at the further end of these garden beds here. So if I'm looking at the garden bed from here, which I will be most of the time, the Russian sage just offers something very soft in the background there. How does that look? Maybe it needs to move a little bit further back. And then I'll move this back because I feel like it. Yeah, that looks better. There we go. In all honesty, the Sheridopsis doesn't look too healthy. There's a lot of dried bits, but I think that's just because it's been summer and we've been moving house and I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of the succulents that, you know, that we had in singular pots. So I'm just going to leave it here. We'll see how it grows, and if it doesn't do any better, we can take it out and move it somewhere else. It does feel a little dehydrated though. Yeah. Okay. Keep that in mind. All of this area here is holding up fabulously. Colorado hasn't died yet, right in the middle there. I mean, it does feel like this part of the garden bed needs a little bit more, you know, something to fill it out. But I do want to leave the colorata in here and just see what it does for the meantime. Euphorbia polygona is sitting happy there. Look at how many flowers there are on this portulaca. They come out with the daytime and then they close up at night. This weed here is really annoying. I'm gonna have to lift this up and like properly dig that out. And over here, we have definitely made a few additions to this garden bed. It's starting to look a little bit more colorful now, which is great. Where do I start? In this side here, I've added some kalanchoe just in front of the Salvia Aztec Blue. This whole garden bed here just needed a little bit more, I don't know, it just needed something that would pop. And so the bright green of this kalanchoe with the red flowers, it just felt really right in this spot. We've placed a rock here. I don't know what this succulent is called, but I saw it at Flower Power and I bought it immediately. I've just planted that there. It looks really, really lovely. I'm slowly learning this about design. You can't really see everything from every angle. It's kind of like you're leaving little Easter eggs or little treasures around the garden for people to discover as they're looking. So I do love that this is kind of like tucked away a little bit. Pasacana, that was already there. And then we've got this bee's knees. Yeah, I took the bee's knees out of its pot and I've popped it in here alongside this, we don't know what this cactus is. It's one of those unknowns in Bunnings. Anyway, we've just plonked it here and we're just seeing how it grows. Oh, these portulacas, I swear to God, they are the most magnificent thing. I think I already showed you in one of the previous videos that we put the Bronze Delight here, but I've also just popped this trailing jade next to it so that this can kind of like grow over the edge of the garden bed. And this colors up to be a really lovely pink as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Pretty tough trailing plant, if you're into that. Oh yeah, again, another unknown cactus, but I really wanted to add some more texture just in front of these, I've forgotten the name, but yeah, the contrasting texture. The wildflowers with cacti, honestly, is one of the best combinations. And so we're gonna see how that grows. Also, okay, and this golden barrel, I don't know, I just felt like we needed something a little bit heavier to anchor that spot. What I will have to do is move the euphorbia a little bit further towards that corner, just so, you know, it doesn't look squished or crammed, but things kind of like have their own space. And what I'm thinking of doing is taking out one of these Aztec blues and popping a kalanchoe in there, which I'll do a little bit later. I think it's gonna look good. Okay, I've done it again. Where's my spade? Seriously? I just had it like 2 seconds ago. It was in the bag of soil where I left it. Yeah, okay. Just gonna move this back literally like 2 inches. There we go. There, I think that looks better. All right, tell me that looks good. Yeah, that's better. That's better. And hopefully that'll fluff out just a little bit further towards the back. All right, sun's coming out. Okay, it's much later in the afternoon and we're just gonna carry on with this pot. Tim is okay with me destroying this pot in order to get this plant out. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. Maybe I need to, all right, here we go. Oh God. Okay, it cracked. But it will not come apart. Okay, it's pretty much wired around at the top. I'm gonna get some eye protection, hang on. Okay. You can't even really pull it apart because there's like wire running through this rim. Ah, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, Holy crap. Mega ant colony. I'm just gonna have to deal with that later. Okay, all right, maybe I can use wire cutters here. Oh, ow, this is so heavy. Ugh. Ugh. Wow, this soil is really just, it's so dense and it's so packed together. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do this bit by bit. I don't mind hacking at the roots too much because I am in no hurry for this to grow. Bloody hell, so many ants. You know what? Maybe I should wash this. This feels like it's pretty much been potted up in clay. Look, I might just do the rest of this off camera because this is really tedious, and I'll get you back when I'm ready to pot this up in the ground. All right, friends, this is where we have ended up today. Pretty much, Tim helped me take the plant over to the other garden bed on the far side of the yard so that I could hose the roots down completely. I had the hose on jet and it pretty much washed off the majority of the clay around the roots, which is great, but now I'm just gonna leave this to dry overnight. A little bit annoyed because I did want to get this done this evening, but that's not gonna happen. So yeah, we're just gonna have to do this tomorrow morning, and we will check in then. And I've got to clean up all of this mess. There's a lot of mess. Yeah. Ooh. I think this looks good. It's dried up nicely and it's ready to go into the ground. That looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, okay, it comes out in like 3 different parts. Okay. go. Wow. No, there's something about this that doesn't look right. What if? What if? What if? What if? This just needs to go here. I'm just gonna put the salvia back here. Oh my God. We're back at square one. There just needs to be one more thing to anchor this in place. I'm not too sure what it is, but yeah, okay. Okay, good Lord, that was just a real roundabout way of being right back at the beginning. Could this go here? This new aloe that we bought. However, I do know that if I plant this aloe in the back, the roots will kind of take over. They're gonna grow very vigorously. I actually quite like that, but I want the salvia there too. I could put like another pot there. Hang on 2 seconds. Something like that. Does that work? That might be a bit too tall. Actually, that looks pretty good, provided that the salvia grows a bit more. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, so we're gonna leave that other bed there for a moment. I'm gonna pot up that aloe properly later. I did kind of just suddenly have an idea for this. I might just pop this up here, just for now. Okay, not bad, not bad. Ugh. What do we think about this? I think I'm going to leave it there for this morning. I am going to go to the nursery and to Bunnings to get a little bit more inspiration. What would be good is if I got a little bit more inspiration from other plants around my courtyard, just so I didn't have to buy more plants. But I am still going to Bunnings, because that's always fun. Oh yes, I went shopping. I got Euphorbia millii, Euphorbia white. I got another one of those, so we kind of have a theme carrying across all of the raised beds. And I got one more salvia as well. Not salvia, the Russian sage. I got another Russian sage, which I'm gonna plant up in the corner there. I have arranged these roughly according to instinct, so we'll see what happens. Look what I found. I want to take this off. This is an old plant here. It looks pretty trashed, but I'm going to try and give it another life. Okay. I think these things are supposed to be biodegradable, but I do want to remove it just in case. It's getting really, really dark, but I want to keep gardening. This agave desperately needs to come out of its pot. It hasn't been growing that much because it's literally like, it is so root bound. It's a really lovely pot, but we're going to take it out and give it the space to grow. Oh my God, look at this. Look at how root bound that is. I'm pretty sure those are meant to be pups coming up. Okay, we're gonna put this in the ground right now. I'm gonna hurry up because it's getting really dark and the footage is probably getting a bit grainy, but this is what I've done. I've removed all of the pups and loosened up a lot of the roots just to give this plant the best chance of surviving and growing as much as possible. Basically, I'm just trying to create the circumstances so that all of the energy can go into this mother plant. No doubt that she's going to produce pups in time, but for now, I just want to give her the best chance of just growing, I guess. Last night was pretty rushed and I forgot to hit record on a couple of things that I was doing. So we'll do a quick whip around of the garden beds now. Friends, that is it for this video. No doubt these raised beds are going to continually evolve. I am learning so much about what works, what doesn't, what I like, what I don't like. So I'm sure I'm going to keep changing things up and shifting things around. Have a great day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.